Yeah, no, Cam Newton, it looks like it hurts every time he throws it. Every time Cam Newton throws, it looks like he's in so much pain.
See, and this is why when you watch the Patriots last year and people were like, oh, Cam, why can't he find a job? It was so bad watching Cam Newton play football. I do not blame the Patriots at all from making that move. Clearly, the results have paid off there. Maybe we should just transition into that game then, talking about the Patriots and Bills, because obviously that has huge playoff implications there. The Patriots right now are, I think, behind the Ravens for the lead in the conference. But
yeah, they're half game behind them right now. I think they still have a bye week upcoming.
But the AFC East has been personified by huge winning streaks because the Dolphins have a 4-game winning streak, while the Patriots decided, let's just have a 6-game winning streak. They had that 1-3 start and just have not looked back from it. And I think that that's just reminders that Bill Belichick treats September as almost an additional preseason, how he kind of used to build those championship rosters in the past, those championship seasons. We always used to have are the Patriots done narrative in September. And then, well, look what happened in October. Look what happened in November. Undefeated November there, by the way, for the Patriots, and almost undefeated October.
The last time they lost was the Nick Folk kick that went off the upright against Brady. That was the last time they lost.
They've just looked so impressive, but they're going against this Bills team. So the Bills thought that the conference and the division was just theirs for the next decade. They didn't expect the Patriots were just going to stick around with the hoodie and Mac Jones was going to be the second coming of Tom Brady here. They played on Thanksgiving, so they had a mini break there. So they have a little bit more time to prepare for this game. What it's going to come down to is just Josh Allen has to be dependable, because you look at the games in which he struggled, the Bills struggled. The Bills cannot recover when Josh Allen has a bad game. It's so clear that their success is tied to him because they don't really have much of a running game to speak of. Devin Singletary and Matt Breida, these guys just can't get it done when Josh Allen isn't being efficient. He's their best running back almost in a way too. And then their defense took a huge blow because Tre'Davious White out for the year with the ACL. Tre'Davious White has been described as someone who could literally just take away one side of the football field from you. Going against the Patriots, and obviously the Patriots game plan is take away what you do well. And if you can take away Josh Allen, that's a huge benefit to them. Obviously, Bill has done a great job on Josh Allen actually throughout his career. When you really look at Josh Allen's games against the Patriots, they could have lost last year to a bad Cam Newton team. I think that game came down to a fumble late by Cam.
Twice. Yeah. Both of the games were close last year.
Yeah. So now with an improved Patriots team, this is going to be a dogfight to the very end. Kyle, like I said, deferring to you on this pick.
Well, let's do the analysis first and save the pick so that Juju can mull over his options here. And I've been thinking about this game actually for going back to last Thursday, because I did a podcast with our buddy Blake Jude over on Take It Easy, talking about both the Bills and the Patriots. And one of the things I thought about is whenever we do this matchup, I always think about is what are the Patriots doing that the other teams to counter the other teams. Whenever I think of whether the Patriots are going to win a matchup or not, it's always, what will Bill Belichick do to scheme against this team? Or what will Josh McDaniels do? Or if you go back a couple of years, what will Tom Brady do against this? And I think that's just more so to how good the Patriots have been. As I started thinking more about this game, I started thinking, well, the best player on the field is Josh Allen. Like both sides, whoever's coming into this. Now you can argue Belichick works like a player just on the sidelines, because Belichick works in mysterious ways and he studies film differently. And he's just one of the smartest defensive minds, if not the smartest defensive mind in the history of football. So maybe that counteracts that. But Josh Allen is the best player on the field for both sides coming into this game. And it's been a weird year for Josh Allen so far. And yet even still, I think if he makes some of the plays, Buffalo should be able to win this game pretty handily, because the Patriots are going to try and dominate time of possession the way the Patriots do, especially with the three-way running game that they've had this year. Buffalo's running game is really there. I mean, Tre'Davious White leaving now changes the math, but throughout the season, Buffalo's rush defense has been worse than their passing defense by a pretty big margin. So you can run the ball better on Buffalo than you can throwing. So the Patriots will probably take advantage of that, just because why would you throw the ball more against a defense that's good at defending the pass, but not as good at defending the run? So that leads me to think Josh Allen plays are going to be the difference in this game. And I've been framed as a Josh Allen hater because obviously on this podcast was the first place I displayed the awful take last year that Josh Allen would go 6-10 and be replaced by, I believe, Dak Prescott, I said at the time. But Josh Allen has come around, and Josh Allen's like a tier 2 level quarterback. He does everything Mahomes does, but slightly worse. And that's totally okay. Like, that still makes him the best player on the field in a matchup between two division leaders. And so I think I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. And I'm scared to take the Buffalo Bills because the Patriots have been a team that I think is legitimately good. Like, maybe not elite, but legitimately good. Both these teams feel like pretty much even. I think Buffalo's a 3-point favorite for that reason. And it's in Buffalo, and they usually say the home team gets a 3-point swing, which is probably not as true as it used to be. But this game feels like such a coin flip that I want to give Josh Allen maybe an unearned benefit of the doubt relative to 20 years of seeing Bill Belichick break my heart. But now I love Bill Belichick, and I've been reading this wonderful book by Seth Wickersham about the Brady Belichick era. And I'm pretty sure the reason it happened was both of them. I don't think there's a Brady Belichick debate here. Pretty sure it was both of them was the reason that happened. So I'm giving Bill Belichick the opportunity to break my heart again.
Well, as we're staring down the gun barrel of a potential Brady Belichick Super Bowl, obviously it's going to take a lot of wins to get there from both teams. And that is why I'm going to counter you, and we're going to be against each other on this one, because I am going to take the Patriots. I'm just going to go against Josh Allen's history against the Patriots. Like I mentioned, he has struggled against Bill. I just pulled up his numbers now. 56% completion percentage, 7-6 touchdown to interception ratio, a rating of 70, passer rating of 77. He's looked bad in these matchups. And if you ask me, how did the Patriots win game? Solid run game, win the turnover battle. I could see Josh Allen making a stupid turnover in this game. I could see him trying to escape the pocket, do too much, and have a horrible fumble. Meanwhile, on the other side, you have a team that's just not going to beat itself. The Patriots, Mac Jones, he has been top 5 in completion percentage, top 5 graded PFF quarterback, just top 5 almost everything over the last 5 weeks for the Patriots. Mac Jones has been really good for this team. He just doesn't beat himself. And they have it going with Damian Harris. They got it going with Rondre Stevenson. And no Tre'Davious White. I just think that that's a lot for that Bills defense to have to absorb. Like I said, you're talking about a guy who literally just took away one side of the field from you. Now that's going to put a lot more pressure on Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer in this game to have to add a little bit more help to the side of Levi Wallace in that game. Not that the Patriots particularly beat you with their outside wide receivers, but they like to exploit matchups. And I think that they're going to see a guy who hasn't been starting the entirety of the year and is not nearly as good as White, and they're going to try and take advantage of that. That's why, I just see the Patriots rolling into town. I do see this potentially ending up in a split. So we'll revisit this game when we have to talk about the rematch. And I could see me potentially taking the Bills in that respect. But going to this game, just everything's been lining up. I think, too, the Patriots have been the leaders in point differential over the last several weeks, which used to be a category in which the Bills were leading at one point in the season. So it just tells you that they're not just winning games. They're kicking teams' asses. And Tennessee didn't even look like they deserved to be on the same field as them this past weekend. Patriots are hot. Bills are good too. It's a compelling AFC East picture that I just give the benefit of the doubt to New England at this point. I could just see them not beating themselves.
Well, in that respect, I think New England is a better team altogether than Buffalo. I'm interested also to put a final bow on this. How aggressive do the Bills play against McCorkle, which is obviously Mac Jones? How aggressive do they decide to play in the secondary? Are they trying to jump routes? Are they going to try and intercept Mac Jones? Are they going to try and force him into mistakes? Which, as much as we do give credit to Mac Jones this year for how he's kind of changed, he's kind of been the same person that he was at Alabama in terms of protecting the ball. And in this win streak, he's only had, I believe, 2 or 3 interceptions in the entire time. Before that, we did see some turnover concerns with Mac Jones. And so if a defense jumps it, it's similar to like Kirk Cousins, where even when you play well consistently, we still know the turnover game is somewhere in there. So how aggressive does Buffalo play against Mac Jones? And will Belichick allow Mac Jones to make the big plays to win the way he's done against bad defenses over the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, they're going to need a little bit more production from Rousseau and Oliver on that defensive line for the Bills to be able to get more aggressive on defense. They got it in the Saints game, so hopefully that transfers over from Thanksgiving. Like I said, they had a mini break here. They had a mini bye playing on that Thanksgiving day, so at least maybe a couple more days to use that to your advantage, get ahead on looking up Patriots game film. So maybe they see something that we're not currently seeing. I feel like at this point, Belichick sees everything. He's that all-seeing eye. He's big brother over the NFL, which I guess is probably pretty literal considering he's been involved in multiple Spygate scandals at this point in his career.